Hello friends, this is Gaurav Madan and I am Principal Consultant at Technosis with 7 plus years of experience in IT industry, and I am MCSD app builder, an open teacher and a safe code practitioner. This picture on the left is of mine, and this is from Global Azure Bootcamp 2018. I'm going to talk about unleash the power of serverless computing in the Global Azure Bootcamp 2019 as well. So in this session, I am going to start with Azure Functions. I'm going to tell you about how to get started with Azure Functions. So we will be talking about what is an Azure function and why should I use functions, and then we will be creating a small demo, and this demo is especially for the JavaScript lovers, for the nodejs lovers. So very first thing is, what is Azure function? See this, and this really amuses me. This angle brackets, this says it represents code. This triggers, it means triggers are essentially the thing that actually is responsible for invoking the function. And bindings represents data, which can be either an input binding or an output binding, which means it can be it can be bringing in some data to the Azure function, or it is taking some data out to the from the Azure function. The beautiful thing here is the bindings. Azure function supports a lot of declarative bindings, which means there is absolutely no need for you to write a lot of code to connect to the another data sources. Azure functions supports that. And for the triggers also, Azure function supports a lot many triggers, which makes your life super easy. It supports HTTP trigger, blob trigger, queue trigger, and lot many triggers. So this logo is perfect, which means all you need to focus is on your code and connect it with your trigger and bindings, and you are ready to go. There is absolutely no need to provision or even manage the manage the infrastructure. So why should I use Azure function? Very first reason, in fact, I consider is no provisioning of infrastructure, no managing of infrastructure. All you need to focus is on your business logic. Then Azure function is event driven, which makes it pretty cool. You can have any event and make your Azure functions triggered, invoke your Azure function. It can be a queue event, it can be an event grid event, it can be an HTTP request based event. And the greatest thing is, you pay only for the time your code actually consumed resources, only for the time your code has actually run. It means you have not blocked even any app service, you have not blocked even any VMs, and there is absolutely no need to pay if the Azure function is not running. It supports multiple triggers and bindings that we talked about in the previous slide, and you can write your code in C#, JavaScript, Python, and Java as well, and even in PHP. So how to start? All you need to have is Visual Studio Code. Then you need to have Node.js installed. And first of all, you have to install Azure Functions Core Tools. I am installing Azure Functions Core Tools version 2 in the demo, and this -g represents global. Then you will be having func commands, func init to initialize the repository, func new to create a new Azure function, and also you can use func deploy. In this particular demo, I'm not going to talk about func deploy because I want to only do the local development first. In the next session, we'll be talking about deploying Azure functions onto the portal. So now is the time for live demo. So I am in my VS Code. So I have created a folder, cool functions app, and here I have already installed npm install -g Azure Functions Core Tools version 2. Once this is installed, you can check with typing func, func. So it will showcase what all commands you can start with. So it is pretty init for the pretty easy. For the JavaScript users, for the Node.js users, like you guys create npm init to create a, to start npm project. Similarly, Git users use Git inits. In the same way, we have func init to initialize a Azure Functions repository. So it is asking me what kind of worker runtime I want. I am looking to have Node. So I selected Node here and pressed enter. It is asking me the worker runtime. I'm selecting JavaScript in this case. There you go. You can see on the left, we have Azure Functions app initialized. We have a host.json which says that it is Azure Functions v2. We are having a local settings which is telling me that which is the function worker runtime. It will also create a Azure Web Jobs emulator, and along with that we have git ignore file which will automatically, it has added a uh, you know couple of things which will be ignored. All right, then the very next command you have to give is func new. So when I do func new, it will ask me to select a template. I can select http trigger to start with. Let us select http trigger. Yes, then it is asking me the function name. I'll give my functions name here. Let us call it cool functions app. Yes, and press and enter. There you go. You see, it has all automatically created a folder, and it has created a couple of files for me here. The starting file here is, you can see here, it has created an HTTP API for me, which will receive a HTTP request and can receive in the query string parameter as name or even in body. And if I pass a name, it will say hello name. If I do not pass anything, it will be throwing a 400 error, and this will be the response. Along with that, it has created a functions JSON, which pretty much describes what kind of function it is. In this case, it is HTTP trigger, and it is telling that it is having couple of bindings, like input bindings and output bindings. In this case, input bindings and the payload. So payload is in the request object. It can take either get method or a post method as well, and it will give us the response in the RES. That is an output binding. Okay, so to start with it, it is like now, to all we have to do is func start. It will run your Azure function locally. So to do the local development using Azure Functions, there is absolutely no need to have Azure Functions like a Azure account for you. You can still write your logic. Once you are done with it, you can then have an Azure subscription and deploy it onto the portal Azure. So it has automatically created this API for me. So let us click here. So all the nuisance has already been removed, which means you are right there. You are absolutely ready to write an API. So see, this is the response because I did not pass any query string parameter or even in the body. So let us go to index.js again. It is giving me, please pass a name on the query string or in the request body. Let us pass in the query string. It is, let's say, Azure Functions. It is saying hello Azure Functions. Yay! So you are ready with an HTTP API based Azure function which is created in the nodejs runtime and is created using the command line parameters. Okay, that's it from my side. All right, so that's it. Azure Functions, you can start playing with it. I want to keep this session short, and you can create your first Azure function in VS Code. In the next session, we'll talk about how to deploy Azure function, and we'll also cover about how you can create Azure function in C#. Thank you very much. Have a good time.